You didn't click this video by accident. Deep down, you're searching for something, the secret behind turning nothing into everything. The journey from being an ordinary person with no money, no power, and no connections, to becoming a billionaire who built one of the most successful companies in the world. And if that's what you're looking for, then yes, this is exactly the video you were meant to find. Because this is the untold story of Jack Ma. The man who went from rejection, failure, and humiliation to building a billion-dollar empire that changed China and inspired the entire world. Before he became one of the richest men in Asia, Jack Ma was just a skinny kid from Hangzhou who failed more times than most people would dare to try. He failed in school. He failed in university entrance exams, not once, but twice. He applied to Harvard, got rejected 10 times. He even applied for 30 different jobs after graduation and got rejected from all of them. One of those jobs was at KFC. 24 people applied. 23 were accepted. Jack was the only one who didn't get the job. Most people would have quit right there. But Jack didn't. Because somewhere inside him, he had this unshakable belief that failure is not the end, it's just information. Every rejection, every no, was a lesson that shaped his mind, made him sharper, and gave him the one thing schools never teach: resilience. In the 1990s, China was still finding its way into the modern world. The internet was just being born. Most people didn't even know what a computer was. But then, Jack Ma took a trip to the United States as a translator, and what he saw changed his destiny forever. He searched beer online and found pages from all over the world: Germany, the US, Japan, but nothing from China. In that moment, he realized something powerful. China was invisible on the internet. That's when he decided, if no one else will bring China to the world, I will. He didn't know how to code. He had no money, no technical team, just a dream and a borrowed laptop. He gathered 17 of his friends in his small apartment and told them, "We're going to build an online marketplace for China." Everyone thought he was crazy. Even his wife said, "I don't understand what you're doing, but if it's your dream, go for it." That's how Alibaba was born. Not in a fancy office, but in a small room full of dreamers who believed that someday, small businesses in China could sell their products to the entire world. But success didn't come overnight. When Jack tried to raise money from Silicon Valley investors, they laughed at him. They said, "China has no credit system, no logistics, no internet infrastructure. It will never work." Jack smiled and said, "That's why I'm doing it." He wasn't trying to copy the West. He was building something for his people. He believed in the power of small businesses, the farmers, the shop owners, the makers who had been invisible for too long. Alibaba wasn't just an e-commerce company. It was a revolution, a bridge between ordinary people and global opportunity. Jack Ma once said, "Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." That's not a slogan, it's his life philosophy. During Alibaba's early days, he couldn't pay salaries. He couldn't find investors. But he motivated his team not with money, but with vision. He told them, "We are not building a company, we are building hope." That kind of leadership comes not from books, but from pain. From someone who has been at the bottom and still chooses to rise. Here's one of Jack's most powerful secrets. He doesn't believe in competing with others. He believes in outlasting them. While other companies focused on making quick profits, Jack focused on creating long-term trust. He taught his team to serve customers, not just sell to them. He told them, "Customers first, employees second, shareholders third." It sounded crazy to investors, but it worked. Because when customers trust you, and employees believe in you, success follows naturally. And what truly made Alibaba different was Jack's ability to combine Eastern philosophy with Western innovation. He used stories, laughter, and philosophy to inspire his team. He quoted Confucius and Bruce Lee in business meetings. He told them, "We're like ants. We're small, but together we can build something unstoppable." His energy was contagious. Even when he didn't know the answer, he made people believe they could find one together. But like every empire, Alibaba's rise was full of storms. When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, hundreds of internet companies collapsed overnight. Jack's team panicked, but he stayed calm and said, "The bubble has nothing to do with us. We didn't rely on hype, we relied on people." While others gave up, he doubled down. He kept building infrastructure, logistics, and trust. That's the moment when Alibaba transformed from a startup into a movement. And the turning point came when he launched Taobao, an online marketplace that directly challenged eBay. Everyone said it was suicide. eBay had more money, more technology, and more experience. But Jack had one thing they didn't: understanding of the Chinese people. He made Taobao free for sellers when eBay charged fees. He added live chat for buyers and sellers to talk directly, something eBay didn't offer. He said, "If you want to win, serve the people better." Within 2 years, Taobao destroyed eBay in China. That's how Jack Ma proved that empathy could beat power. But his vision didn't stop at business. Jack always said, "If you only think about making money, you'll never make enough." He believes entrepreneurship is about solving problems, not chasing profits. That's why he created Alipay, an online payment system built on trust. At the time, people said online payments were impossible in China. Too risky. Too new. But Jack said, "If we don't build it, no one will." And today, Alipay serves over 1 billion people. Jack's real genius is his mindset. He doesn't think like a billionaire. He thinks like a teacher. He sees business as a tool to inspire and empower others. He once said, "If there are 9 rabbits on the ground and you want to catch one, focus on one rabbit first." In other words, clarity and focus win over chaos and greed. That's how he kept Alibaba moving in one direction while others were distracted by trends. But success brought pressure, political scrutiny, public criticism, endless challenges. Yet, Jack remained calm. He said, "Don't worry about enemies. Worry about yourself. When you are strong, enemies disappear." And when asked how he handled stress, he said, "I dance, I sing, I do Tai Chi." That's the paradox of Jack Ma, a man of relentless energy who still finds peace in simplicity. What makes Jack's story timeless is that he never forgot where he came from. Even after becoming a billionaire, he lived modestly. He didn't talk about money, he talked about dreams. He often told young people, "Before you turn 30, follow a good boss. Learn. Before you turn 40, think about how to do something for yourself. Before you turn 50, focus on what you're good at. And after 60, spend your time teaching others." That's not just advice. It's wisdom from a man who's seen both sides of life. Jack Ma's empire isn't built on money. It's built on belief. The belief that ordinary people, when given the right tools and trust, can achieve extraordinary things. Alibaba was never just an online store. It was a statement. We can do it too. And that message inspired millions across Asia and beyond. But here's the question I'll leave you with. If Jack Ma could turn rejection into revolution, what could you turn your failures into? Maybe your biggest obstacle right now is just your training ground. Maybe that no you got today is preparing you for the yes that will change your life forever. Jack once said, "If you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure." Think about that the next time you feel like quitting. The next time someone doubts your dreams. The next time the world says, "No." Remember, somewhere in Hangzhou, a man who failed every test decided to build an empire anyway. And maybe that's the real secret of Jack Ma. It's not genius, it's grit. It's not luck, it's love for what he does. It's not the billions in his account, it's the billions of people he inspired to believe in themselves. So if you've made it this far, you already have what it takes: curiosity, courage, and the hunger to grow. The next move is yours. Build your dream, no matter how small. Start today, not tomorrow. Because, like Jack said, today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow, that's when miracles happen. And if you want to keep learning from the minds of the world's greatest visionaries, from Elon Musk to Steve Jobs to Jeff Bezos, subscribe and stay with us. Because your journey to building your own empire starts right here, right now.